Right now I want to talk about a couple of chord voicing styles that work great when you're playing solo. You know, solo, obviously, solo piano without a bass player. You're playing without a bass player. And you want to play usually the bass notes with your pinky to fill things out. So the first thing I want to talk about is the two-handed voicing, where you're spreading the notes out across over two hands, like this kind of thing. If we're playing a 2-5 in the key of B flat, it would be, you have a C minor, 7th chord. You can voice it that way, going to an F7, going to a B flat major 7. And what I'm doing, what's happening basically is the left hand is playing, the pinky is playing the bass note. The left hand is playing some variation of a shell voicing. In this case, it's Riley Martin. You like these shell voicings? In this case, it's root and 7 for the C minor 7th chord. For the F7, it's F and E flat, root and 7. When I got to the B flat major, I played 1 and 5. So the left hand is basically playing a shell voicing, which is sometimes the root and 5th, sometimes it's the root and 6th, a lot of times it's the root and 7th. The right hand is playing upper structure that fills out the rest of the chord. Most of the time, a lot of times, the thumb is playing the 3rd of the chord. So you have the 3rd of the chord played here, and then the melody on the top with your pinky, and usually 1 or 2 notes in the middle, sometimes just 1. So there's my C minor 7th voicing. The shell voicing in the left hand, root in 7th, the 3rd, the 5th, and the 3rd again doubled. When I went to the F7th, same kind of a thing, shell voicing, 3rd with the thumb on the right hand. I played the 13th, had the 3rd doubled. When I get to the B flat major 7, root and 5th, 3rd, major 7th, 3rd again. So that's the basic idea. So if I'm using this style to play over, say, Autumn Leaves in the key of G minor, I'm going to play it like this. And the basic progression is C minor 7, F7, B flat major 7, E flat major 7, E minor 7 flat 5. In this case, I'm doing a little kind of a reharm. I'm playing A7 to an A flat 7th to a G minor 7th. So if I'm using these two-handed voicings, I'm going to play it like this. And again, the bass note is going to be in the pinky. The melody is going to be in the pinky on my right hand. So it's going to be. I have a little moving voice in the middle. So that's the basic idea with the two-handed voicings. Also, another style that works great is the style where you're playing a bass note in the left hand, just a bass note, and a chord cluster in the right hand. Anywhere from a 2 to a 4-note chord cluster. I guess you could probably get 5 notes too. But if I'm playing that same progression to Autumn Leaves in the key of G minor, you know, C minor, F7, the thing I just did, with the melody, it'll sound something like this. Now this is a very full style. It's a little bit different because you have bigger space between, you have your cluster here and your bass note down here. But another thing that's great about this style is you can get nice moving lines with it. When I'm playing like this, I do the fills with the left hand. You can get a nice little moving line with the left hand. And you can walk with this too. This works perfectly well if you're walking. It would be, if you're walking with the bass, it would be. So that's one way to do it. You can also play in 2, you know, bass notes on 1 and 3 and little fills like. So you can get this nice little movement and nice little dialogue between the hands, you know. If you're playing a bossa, it works great too. You can play a bossa nova bass line like. Blowing or just soloing in the right hand, that kind of thing works great too. But yeah, those are basically two styles of voicing chords that work really great when you're playing without a bass player, just to create a full sound and fill things out. So there it is. There you have it. Riley Martin, did you like that? Riley likes it.
Oh yeah, captivated audience.